Good day, everyone, and welcome to yet another epic, big, astounding battle in the Battle of Five Armies. I am showing you another game against Galahad. If you don't know who Galahad is, then you're losing a lot. I already posted one game with him on my channel, and this is basically another battle. Uh, so I guess, if I remember correctly, it will be quite a long game. We played it actually quite recently, just a few weeks ago. So it's one of the freshest games ever. And I'm playing Shadow, and he is playing three people. Let's go. I got maybe let's start now. Yeah, standard setup by three people, three generals activated, three leadership tokens spread around, a little bit stronger Eastern Spur with that leadership token, not for movement but for potential defense when attacked, and I got the one Fate. Awesome. Uh, Eagles are not kindly birds, so when eagles come, the mountains are really scary place. Mountains are very specific regions because every single fortification is on mountains, and to win a shadow, you need to take at least one fortification. So this is like a key thing. You cannot avoid it. There are ways. There are ways you take fortification. Okay, if your army dies after that, sometimes it doesn't matter, but still. Okay. I have. What do I have? I place three leadership tokens and three bats, and this is my latest approach that I put one bats in broken lands just for the flexibility. I accepted that the double bats in a region that you think you may be fighting, not that useful turn one probably because you rarely have some extensive fights turn one, so just if I roll too many masters. Rare situation, but can happen. And I have marching companies, really good early game card to move three armies, consolidate, reinforcements, consolidate armies, threaten multiple regions, really good. And howling orcs. This one is interesting, that dwarves and men units cannot use their maneuver combat cards against shadow armies containing great orcs. And those, if you cannot use your maneuver cards, especially like dwarven veteran maneuver cards, this hurts a lot. Those maneuver cards are one of the key battle ingredients, in many ways more important than cards, like card combat effects. Just because you don't expend cards, but also not many cards have actually that important stronger combat effect than maneuver cards, which is quite funny. They're like one of supplements, apart from maybe dense fog. Okay, and I roll, and I roll three masters. So what do you know? I placed bats just in case I have too many masters, but still I am quite flexible. I have the Palantir to move armies, and uh, I have two hybrid dice, so I can move, I can attack, I can uh, yeah, and he rolls three C dice. Not very good for him because early, you want to have masters. You want to flip some tokens. You want to have like one C die, maybe two, but this is a little bit too much anyway. Three C dice. So yeah, okay. Palantir is usually good. Turn one, you can maybe cast a spell. I mean, cast a card or draw cards early is for some flexibility. It can be cool. So okay, what is my plan? This is usually, as a shadow player, this is usually very good to check your dice, check your event, and see what you can achieve. Turn one, can you achieve bulk? I can. I can place, I can flip two tokens with those masters. I can have full army with these three Varks, and then I can move with Palantir or with a hybrid die, and then I can attack, and I have last master die to take bulk. And it is excellent. Can I threaten Eastern Spur or Camp without a C die without a double movement from the event or move to attack or something like that. Extremely hard, actually. I want to probably. I mean, I would need to use 2 masters and bats, and obviously this is not very effective. Like bats are, yeah, bats are bats. Bats are good as a reserve, desperate option for movement, but it's much more efficient to move in other means and use them for combat. So yeah, my initial plan: recruit, double recruit, which is decent start, especially that three people have only 1 recruitment, and then go for bulk. Maybe take tail, you know. Let's see what happens. Yeah, standard move with dwarf and veteran, and standard 3 people forgetting using general before the die and using it after the die. But that's that's accessible. Nothing really unusual. And yeah, so I recruit and I flip. So what do I get? I get single orc here and single orc here. It's a little bit a shame. If I got like double orcs here, I would be able to already start moving and maybe attacking, but okay, not bad. Now he uses recruitment die to flip some tokens. Completely understandable. He also can see that I don't have that much reach with my armies. So camp is probably safe, but Eastern Spur or Dale can be definitely attacked this turn. So yeah, I don't want to move out without 5 soldiers. Sometimes you can, but I don't have to, so why would I? So I recruit more. He passes, which is like again good choice. He got what he wanted to do from the fast things, and I move around. Now what does he do? And he runs away. That irritating bastard. I would love to attack him and get that extra movement from attack to get in here and recruit bulk, but he simply ran away. Like across the river, it is defensive position. It is not bad, but still, there were only 2 soldiers against 5 soldiers, so you know. 1 damage. I roll 1 damage. I use bastards 2 damage, and he suddenly I already starts losing soldiers. Not too good. Okay, so I now use marching companies because I want my bulk, and I move these soldiers here because this when this token flips from the bulk, this will be already fresh army ready to move, and probably I'm already planning to get bulk in here to have the further on the north to have the double great orc army for some fun times. What does he do? He uses Bard to flip a token. Makes sense. Usually it is really good if as 3 people you can just place tokens, and if you are able to play slow and just get as many tokens, as many soldiers as you are able to. But yeah, he realizes that that's not necessarily the case with the low master dice that he got. So yeah, he got, and that is cute maneuver. I didn't remember that. And he uses a sea die to reinforce his Dale. So actually, camp is the recruitment place where you'll be putting tokens, you'll be flipping, putting tokens with Bard or flipping tokens with Bard. So you can hope to have more soldiers in here. But Dale is out of recruitment capabilities, but is vulnerable, especially early. This if Bolg with 3 bodyguards enter, this is a really difficult time. So this army and the center of the map can support any region, can defend anything. Very strong, very powerful. So I move. Yeah, this army is combat ready. This army is combat ready. So yeah, they move to mess 3 people's faces and to recruit Bolg, obviously. And he places. He realized, yeah, not many archery shots from Tandril, so just another token. And veterans, interesting. So he made massive, extremely strong instant spore. Maybe a little bit too strong. I can just avoid it and go to some weak unrecruited spaces. But on the other hand, if he didn't do that, I move this army here, I merge this army, Bulk comes and I just destroy Easterspur. So there's that. Yeah, okay, bulk, and I have two armies uh, on forward positions, and I have another two armies ready to fight. No double orcs, which is a little bit of a shame, but it also means that later, if I get some recruitment events for placing and flipping tokens, I will have greater chance to get double orcs then. So maybe 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 it is even better to save those double orcs for later. I don't need them necessarily right now. And would you look at that? And I got the Gradual Marshal. Would be a shame if three people got them. So yeah. Okay, three people obviously are preparing for the regions. And ooh, eagles, lots of eagles. Not let's hope to win this fast, right, guys? Let's hope to win this fast. Now, three bats. Now situation was different. I placed two bats here, one here, because I don't really expect this army to fight that much. Maybe they'll get attacked. I don't really want to attack with this army here. It would be just simply waste of dice and waste of soldiers. They are heavily outmatched. But just for the sake, if he will attack me, maybe I can bleed him a little bit. Uh, then again, here on the other hand, yeah, camp, front gate. Maybe Eastern Spur, or maybe he will come with some soldiers to help north. So bats here, very good. And even if I got some masters, even if these armies will be on the north will be inflexible, I don't really mind that much because I have two armies ready for combat already. And he rolls. Ooh, okay. So I got I die, which is useful. It is decent die, but I lose some tempo in a situation when I would really like to abuse the fact that people weren't able to recruit that much. And two Palantirs, and right now Palantirs don't give me really that much. I cannot move or attack. So actually, if I had like strong movement and attacking roll, with all that roles that three people have that with low recruitment, that could be really difficult times for them. But because they got slow roll, but I also got slow roll, you know, it is Galahad, so he may think of something. So he flips the token. He needs soldiers ASAP, and he places Bilbo. Makes sense in Dale. Now this is very cute, very important. First of all, he has a very strong counter-attack army, and as three people, you really want to have one of your best ways to defense is simply offense. When shadow armies approach, you try to dismantle them and destroy them with your superior armies, because three people, if there's no bulk involved, three people on average has stronger armies with their maneuvers, with Bilbo, with leaders, and all of that. So he has ability to counterattack whenever I move north, or with this army to mess up with the elves. And he doesn't really care about defending Dales that much, because bulk is already recruited. So yeah, he used that time, really good usage. And I used Trouble Mind on Tandril. Yeah. Okay, I like it. I realized, you know what? I don't want him to place more tokens. I don't want him to shoot me with his archers, and I don't have much to do with my Palantirs yet. So yeah, I will use it. I will use the fact that Tandril is one of the generals that you really want to use early, mid, and late game. So very inconvenient. He passes now, which is interesting, and I move Bulk. Yep. So this is the strongest army on the board. Lots of leadership, two great orcs, flexible, versatile army, really diverse, can do a lot. And with the bodyguard token, I can now like move, for example, use even hybrid die to just move to armies and bulk approaches, other armies approaches. Very difficult stuff. And interesting, he decides to remove Troubled Mind. With Will of the West. Will of the West is his only recruitment die around, and he maybe would need recruiting. Camp is really weak. Dane would be able to place a token in camp and then put, but on the other hand, not being able to use Tandril, hmm, I'm not sure. I mean, this is difficult spot. Usually, this is not as big of a deal because people, if you have more flexible role, you just trade die against die and event. It is not that bad of a trade. Like you want, if you can trade die by a die, this is quite decent because you win with when the time passes. But right now, it is his only recruitment die, and obviously I should probably mention you don't really want to discard this card by moving Fate Track back. It's not really about the win condition. I never saw 3 people going to 15, but it is about unlocking Thorin, unlocking his double buffed eagles, and all of that. So yeah. So I see him doing nothing, and I realized, you know what? I have some free dice. I don't want to commit yet because then he can use those. He can use his character dice. He can use his Palantir to react to what I'm doing. And now he doesn't have much to react to, and doesn't have that much to use those dice for. So I just place goblins. I'm not in a hurry. I would love that die to be some mover attack, to put pressure and have more movements and more attacks. But if I can't use it, I whoops, uh, I I don't want to. Okay, I messed something up, but I hope everything will be okay. And now I play my Howling Orcs. So this is bad time for him. He basically needs to kill Great Orc, or he's all north because he moved out of the camp and didn't have that much recruitment. His north is quite empty, and with that, he can't really fight against me really well. So right now, yeah, he is being proactive. He doesn't have much to do with his dice, so he just wants to wipe this army. This is a very good strategical move because if he just moves this army around to defend north, which I'm probably wanting to attack, my army will walk around, take Ruins of Dale, take unrecruited elves. But if he will wipe this army, then he frees up his own army to move around and help North. And he uses Bilbo, and spends Bilbo. Wait, he just moved. I thought he would be attacking. Ah, okay. Interesting. Interesting. So he didn't attack. He just moved. Okay, so I use that opportunity and I move forward. I can take camp now. I can take lower slopes. I have multiple attacking points. So he moved, so he can do archery attack. Totally makes sense. Yeah, I understand that. And now he moves back and now attacks. So he wanted to soften my army with the archery attack before he fights. Yeah, makes sense. Might be a little bit too slow. I don't know. And oh, I got Captain of War. Might be useful. Yeah, I use Captain of War just because with my last die, I just want to take camp. So this army will not be fighting too long. So I want to use their leadership token to just heal that army. Makes sense. He got not too much, just 2 damage. I got only 1 damage, so yeah, not much happening. Then I use maybe token to heal, and this army slipped away. So yeah, he won. He would love to just kill this army to be free, but they can still go and mess up with the elves. And right now I'm charging, thanks to great orcs. I'm getting the camp, getting cards from the camp, and those cards, as you are able to see, that are useful in many situations. And I use vampire like. I have great orcs, but they don't do that much. I mean, I just hit him, he will lose the leadership token and run away, and he wants to run away anyway, and he wants to use this leadership token anyway. So none of my maneuver dice are useful, maneuver cards, but vampire-like, it is always useful, my friends. So yeah, and I got beautiful 2 damage plus 1 from the, I mean, not not really that surprising, right? And he uses regroup. Maybe he was able to, to use Warren regulars when you think about it, but understandable. Maybe he hoped that one of the soldiers will survive. But what are the odds? Uh, Pretty decent on the one hand, but I with one leader with 6 dice. If I hit 2 times because I have bats, that's 3 damage already. So I'm not sure. Okay, pretty decent turn. Okay, I have my bulk, I have my armies. I have one strong army uncontested here. Maybe they can take front gate. I already cut the reinforcements from camp, which is important part of 3 people power. Okay, and I was trying to avoid 2s and 3s, and I got 2 with the event. What can you do? Okay, if then maybe I will be able to cut the Taurin by taking front gate. We will see. So I place bats. I have some combat heavy bats. I didn't play combat bats in the valley. That because I don't really think fighting in valley matters. I will not be attacking Dane army, and if he will attack me with his Dane army, I am already happy. My armies at north can take everything north. Uh, Maybe even win the game. This army will take front gate, these two, and these 2 armies will take spoil. This is 10 points already. So he has to now. Their army has to react, has to do something. Probably, maybe he will not have dice to go south and fight this. Okay, now finally some really good roll for 3 people. Very flexible, lots of choices. I got a lot of C dice. I maybe would like to have some hybrid dice, maybe do some rally actions, uh, maybe to move multiple armies in position. But okay, it is not a bad roll. Single, uh, single eye again for a slow goblin recruitment. They will matter in the end, most probably. So what can I do? I have mastering for battle. I can flip some tokens. I have some tokens ready to do some of the last tokens, but I have advantage. Elves are not recruited yet, so I want to use tempo advantage. I have Gatherer Marshal. I can flip a token on this army to make it 5 soldiers again, which is quite decent. I have 2 Gatherers in Marshal. Okay, this is really good. I think, yeah, I really like Gatherer Marshal. This is really good way. You change Palantir for soldiers. Uh, this is good. Great Goblin. Place 1 Great Orc and 1 Leadership token. Okay, so I can use an eye and Great Goblin card to already unlock the Northern Goblins. So this is good. And with a C die, they can actually move 2 and be really close to combat. Maybe even threaten front gate or Eastern Spur together with bulk. Lots of stuff can happen. But I probably want to attack as fast as possible before some nasty recruitment stuff will happen, before he will hide his regular into the front gate. So I attack and I get another card thanks to my Great Orc. One of the, and actually first thanks to the work, but one of the greatest advantage of Great Orc is not their maneuver, which is quite situation actually, not the combat strength too, which is again quite situational, but the terrain superiority on every single attack that he counts. Okay, and I want my leadership tokens. I have army, which is very strong, but doesn't have leadership. If I can beat these guys, I just need only 1 damage and get second leadership. This will be a huge deal. And I got my damage. And yeah, one roll from him. didn't do that much. So what does he do? I This is very inconvenient position for him because it threatens both Fallen Breach and all the Elven stuff, as well as the front gate. Front gate is very defensive position that one veteran with leadership token alone probably cannot defend unless some lucky stuff will happen. But I have two bats, I have already two leadership tokens. I probably can take it, but I can take a lot of damage and start losing soldiers here, so it can be very inconvenient. He decides to protect the elves. Makes sense. Maybe he doesn't have anything to recruit in front gate. Maybe, or maybe he just realizes that even if he does, I'll just go south, and these two armies can ravage everything, and one Dane will not catch up. So let's see what happens. I was thinking, if he's not defending front gate, maybe he doesn't have anything, so maybe I'll like use I first or something. But then I realized, no, let's attack as fast as possible. I place vampire like, and he plays dense fog. Yeah, okay, so he wants to delay me, understandable. And I got 3 6s. Nasty stuff. So with bats, this is already 2/3 of the front gate taken away. That's really massive. And he does rescue. Oh, this is cool. So he places. Wait, why does he place? He used Dane to place leadership token. Makes sense. He will probably need any points of leadership he will need, any help. And he got Elf. It is just Elven Archer. If he got the Spearmen, actually, Spearmen are really good in fortifications because they can reduce damage taken by fortification and make them live longer. And yeah, I realized, okay, I had really good turn 1. I want to capitalize on that. And let's fight. He uses Wood Elf Archer first. Interesting. Why not? Why not Veteran? I mean, Veteran, if he hits, he will take away my leadership, which might matter. And I got a hit. So with Bats, it's fortification broken. Decent for me. I mean, really good for me. It is really irritating if you're just rolling basket of dice and you can't roll those hits. And he hits his maneuver, and yeah, and so he dealt me 2 damage, and I dealt 2 damage, and I have broken through. Now we're fighting on equal footing, but I have double the number of soldiers, so not that equal. And yeah, okay, I try to bash with great orcs. If I will take away those leadership tokens, they can be useful. And he uses fierce defense. Nice. Very timing. So I am hitting on 5s because the front gate is broken, but I am hitting on 6s because he used the card. And he protected himself from 1 damage, which actually maybe not, doesn't matter at this point. But he protected himself from my maneuver. So yeah, it was every point of health matters, and now he rolls 2 damage. Just like that. Okay, so this is starting to be a little bit iffy because I my damage stacks, and the issue is I would really love this army to be healthy to defend the front gate, but if they will be expanded, if they will take too much damage, okay, I took front gate, but then Dane comes in and he clears all that effort. He takes camp, he takes front gate. I mean, the fortification is broken and soldiers killed, and he needs to respond. So this is not like nothing, but still. I tried Vorg. There are reasons to do other stuff. Maybe play Great Confusion to make him roll in 1 die. That makes sense. Maybe not Gather Marshal. Two good cards for flipping, but maybe something, or maybe even orcs for this special recruitment. But if I realized if I don't hit too much, but I hit maneuver, at least I will kill the dial. And he again deals me 2 damage. So I start sweating, I had really good first 2 turns, but now luck turned around and he starts hitting me constantly for 2 damage when I do barely any damage to him. And he regrouped, so he has his maneuvers back, so I don't really like it. Fortunately, great orcs have that not very useful combat strength too, so it is actually very useful here. I'm still rolling my 5 dice. Okay, and I use Great Confusion, you know what? I don't want to get too much damage because every single damage now is a soldier and I lose a die. Okay, my first roll. So this is the power of orcs. I got that one reroll early when fighting with the lone dwarven regular, and those rerolls are rerolling each turn a die. So in the prolonged exchanges, this is really important. I got 2 damage, which is very important because I cleared him. I killed both. No more combat. If I dealt 1 damage less, there would be still that pesky dwarven veteran with 2 dice with 2 rerolls. Maybe he would be able, to clear that army. It would be very unpleasant for me. Okay. But he got on his single die, he got the hit, he got the Elven Archer, so he really walloped me in the last rounds. I got good rounds early, he got good rounds later, and he runs here, so understandable. And he is retaking camp, and he needs to take the front gate because he needs to prepare to get Dane back. Maybe he will be able to get him next turn, maybe in 2 turns, but he has to get front gate back. So what do? I can place Gather and Marshal right now to strengthen this army, and it can be very useful. Or I can say, you know what, I don't care anymore. I use Ice to put goblins. I use Palantir to place Great Goblin, and then I move this army here and maybe do something else. Both valid options. I'm not sure if they are able to defend themselves against this massive army, so it will be just for trading. Not sure myself. I don't have bots there anyway, so I use Gather Marshal, and yeah, I place. And what do I get? Double orcs. So these are the delayed double orcs. I didn't get any double orcs early. Now I got them, and in time of need, this was actually the best recruitment token for me, which is decent. And yes, he attacks. Maybe he didn't need to attack right now. I have just a C die and I die, so it's not like I would be able to do that much. On the other hand, if I would just move them away, not sure. It's not. He has to do this anyway, so maybe let's not. Yeah, and he gets maneuver. No, yes, he gets maneuver because he has Dwarven Veteran and nothing on defense goes well on movement. So I'm using Great Orcs. I want to slow them down a little bit, but just take away that one leadership. It might matter. Maybe I have 2 leadership anyway. Oh, he got overmasters here, and he's hitting on 6s because he's attacking uphill. So Great Orcs, I'm still rolling 5 dice. Okay, sorry, Great Orcs, that I ever doubted your combat strength. It actually proved very useful. And I hit my maneuver and +1. Okay, decent start. And he already uses Bilbo, understandable. He wants to expand him to be able to place him as fast as possible again. Decent start of combat for me, but this is uphill battle. And he is still much stronger than me. I'm using orcs. Why he's regrouping? I'm stupid. I was thinking veterans. Why he's veterans, lakemen. Actually, there are howling orcs. He's not able to use his maneuvers. He either needs each combat to use a maneuver like a combat event card, or regroup. So this is much better for me Yeah, okay. He got 2 damage, which is very crucial. He will start killing me soon. I got I got 3 damage back. That hurts. That hurts a lot. Yeah. Oh, and I got leadership token. Yeah, those orcs. Man, orcs are, if combat lasts for longer than 1 round, maybe 2 rounds, orcs are really good card. Really good maneuver. Or like multiple combats. That one leadership token I got with Dwarven regulars at the beginning of the round, through the end, two fights in front gate, and now in the defense, it still is paying off. Yeah, so he fights. Ooh, massive roll. Yeah, and massive roll on my side. Nasty, very devastating, very devastating. Yeah, uh, still better for him overall because he has those soldiers, right? And he just needs to deal 1 damage to me. But if he misses on all his 5 dice, and I will hit him 2 times. Yeah, okay, stop screaming. I use Great Orcs again. If I will hit Great Orcs, right, because I regrouped. If I will hit the Great Orcs, I will kill Dane. That matters. And he murdered me, and I hit Great Orcs. Oh man, okay, this army did a lot, a lot. Very devastating stuff, but this is like the power of the cards and all that stuff. I was able to put pressure on him so that he really needed to fight in quite a desperate measure. So this is interesting. Like he lost a lot, but it is some type of a win for him. Anyway, he killed Great Orc, so the card falls. He has retaken front gate. He lost Dane, which is painful. Like this is really good general, really good leader, and a lot of armies. Oh, I'm sweating already. Lots of stuff happening. But yeah, but again, I I think sometimes this is where people need to swap their thinking from War of the Ring, when it took me some time, when I swapped from War of the Ring to Battle of Five Armies. You don't really fight for victory points early in the game. It doesn't matter that I just got down to 0 points. In War of the Rings, if you spend few turns and you are on 0 victory points, it would be like, okay, I lost the game. I had made no progress. But in this game, I made a lot of progress. I made his armies weaker so that it will be easier for me to get those victory points later, which is a big deal. Okay, mutual destructions, left, right, and center, but mostly left top, mostly left top. Okay, and see what happens. If I was able to hold camp and front gate, I would get extra die, but I wasn't able to hold camp, to be honest. Anyway, ill chance. Ooh, ill chance. Yeah, okay, I can delay Thorin, which is very important. And third, Gather and Marshall. This is really good. Okay, that is quite lucky. For 3 people, especially that this is also the one with dense fog. For 3 people, those dense fogs are really important to stall those sieges. You know, sometimes heal fortification, recruit something up, delay, shadow attack, shadow tempo. But I think for shadow, those gatherers and marshals are really key to reinforce forward armies. Yeah, so he gets Gandalf, understandable. He needs some blasting. He can actually get token from Bard, so, and again understandable, but how much does token matter with this army? But leadership, yeah, okay. I got one. I'm happy with the one. And mighty, okay. Thorin has Fury of the Dwarves and Mighty Strokes. Mighty Strokes, not really that big of a deal. I mean, it is decent, but is it really better than Dwarven Veteran or Lakeman? Uh, debatable, you know. But still, having a third maneuver card, or second, depending on your army composition, still important. But Fury of Dwarfs is a big deal. So yeah, I know I can count on my goblins because I have a card that recruits here. So I just put a leadership token. I may be taking Eastern Spur now, with Hammer and Anvil, or I may even ignore this and go past it and take camp and front gate again, you know. Once it's weakened, why should I attack this super strong army with double veterans, two leadership with fortification when I have free stuff to take here? I hope I didn't just bleed out here when I take some stuff for free to prove my point. Or maybe, you know, if I did this, I could prove my point how costly it is was for minimal benefit, you know. Basically, when I'm ravaging his uh, backline, I want him to force out here, or just, you know, sit here and be useless with with that army. Great goblin, great. So yeah, unlocks. And it's plus extra movement. Yeah, for some tempo, double leadership. Great work. Stuff is happening. I yeah, I have two master dice again. This is something very interesting about this game, like the flow of a tempo. Like when you try to rush as fast as possible before enemy will be able to do anything, and put pressure on him before he will gather his armies, respond to all of that. But sometimes, you know, what does he have? He has three C die. These are die, you know, to movement, to attacking. Where does he want to attack now? Not, not very useful. Not many places. So maybe I will sit down. He will not know where do I want to attack, or he will spend those dice for some movement. So it will make openings in some places, and then I will be able to move and attack, you know, and I will not have those inflexible master dice later in the turn when I cannot react. Uh, so I just use one of the masters and I hope to get some goblins to unlock them early. And double orcs. Okay, this is really cool. I got my my both locations unlocked after just two eyes, but two events. Okay, this is really good move. He consolidates his armies. He has one very strong army, lots of leadership, lots of elves, and in the middle somewhat of the map. So whenever I go, he can react with that army. So he has two strong armies, one north, one like on the opposite side of the maps, which is very important. Yeah, okay, I move to armies, I move into positions again, so I can attack in multiple directions. Oh, this is cool consolidation. Yeah, so he's using his C die in a very efficient manner, defending lower slopes. Let's be honest, no point. I mean, 2 points, but what are 2 points in? It is not a defensive position, doesn't give him any benefit. But having those soldiers here in Ravenhill, at least they make the fortification useful, you know. So it is quite important, and especially, you know, spearmen. Yeah, what do I do? I do attacking. Makes sense. Again, great orc, drawing me cards. Good stuff. Good stuff. Maybe not. Ah, no, very useful card. Moving 3 armies. I have actually lots of spread armies. A very lovely card. I would gladly use Palantir or even sometimes army die just to, you know, move closer those armies toward me. And I just want to kill this guy as fast as possible. Yeah, okay, I got my damage, and he damaged me. Oh, that pesky little damager. And he uses blasting. Oh yeah, with concentration token, 3 damage. Yeah. Uh, about median result. So suddenly I had a full, very dangerous army here. You know, threatening front gate and all of that. And suddenly that one hit from the regular, now from the Gandalf, and it stacks up. He places Bilbo and he's going, yeah, move to strike. Very cool. He probably saw that he was most vulnerable here on the north again, still, and he reacted. So yeah, and suddenly I was like really happy about taking front gate for the second time, and it is probably not happening. You know, not with this damaged army with goblins against powerful elven army. He gets even terrain, yeah, massive stuff. So I decided I will go down swinging. I just want to deal damage, and he wants to protect himself. So he 3 damage with maneuver, massive, massive, and I got 3 damage with maneuver, so our maneuvers cancel. I use bats, yeah. Uh, okay, not happy time. So he presses. Do I stay? No, I run away. Yeah, makes sense. Uh, I would just bleed out without much purpose. He still has Bilbo in here. It is actually quite smart what he did. He left some damage on him, so he can use this master die, which doesn't have like many tokens to flip. Maybe he doesn't have event. So instead of using Bilbo to protect him from damage, he takes the damage and he will be able to rally later, which is efficient damage management. Really cool. And my whole army is so weak and measly, and yeah, not fun. I use. Oh, okay. I use here master die. I don't have that much to do with this master die. I can flip some tokens, but you know how useful are those tokens. And I have gather marshal, but I could actually marshal this, but to what effect at the moment? So I decided I just move here, and I want maybe to take fallen. If I will take fallen breach, I'll get extra die this turn. Oh, what a nasty maneuver. And yes, and he blocks. This is funny how this game works. He protects a fallen breach with his soldier, not by moving the soldier as intuition would tell you, uh, that you move soldier to protect the location. He moves so that I cannot use a sea dive for double movement next to the soldier into fallen breach. I just cannot do that. So because when you do double movement, the first area cannot be adjacent. I mean, if the first area you move through is adjacent to an enemy army, you need to stop your movement, which is very rude of him. Why does he do this? Oh, and I abused the situation. I mean, this made sense. He moved out the veteran, so when this army will be running back because it is damaged and all of that, it can go back and consolidate with the uh, dwarven veteran. But I abuse the situation, and I have 3 dice here with 2 leadership, so I can simply kill this guy and 1 dwarven veteran less. He may actually kill me if he will hit his maneuver or his dice, and they only have. Wait, they have 3 health. Yeah, okay, so this will be very difficult. And I get even a card. Okay. Oh, and I have Captain of War. Yeah, because I got a card. Because of Great Orc. Great Orcs are so good. And I have Leadership, not really useful. So, okay, I got my damage, which is very important. Oh, and he got no damage. So I used the card to heal just 1, but this was like for the safety. And suddenly, very inconvenient. If he will recruit Thorin, my army can walk into the front gate, or maybe even into the Fallen Breach, and I can consolidate this army and this army, and there are lots of stuff. Or he will have to spend a die to deal with them, which is also useful. Lots of maneuvers here, very tactical game. Back and forth, like every action, every half action matters one way or another. Oh, and I have returning to assault. So I have 4 tokens here. It can be very useful. Yeah, I want to move this army forward, so I can turn a master die, not only to flip tokens, but also to move this army forward. Very timely. And call to arms, move to arms of leadership. Yeah. Okay, I want to have my second die, but I can't take it. Like, it would seem that I have advantage, that I killed so much, but I can't really, like, close this or pressure him enough. He keeps bouncing back, defending, and maneuvering around, so very pesky. Galahad, can you kindly die? Probably not. Uh, Galahad doesn't know what does it mean to die kindly. And now he has very difficult uh, situation because he would love to recruit Thorin to have also tokens to recruit as fast as possible, because all my armies just walk around and be killing. But on the other hand, he doesn't want that my fresh, not very important, but fresh army walks into the front gate, and then what? He again needs to fight against 3 dice uphill. If he don't do this immediately, maybe I use my Gathered Marvel, maybe I get some stuff, and it just will keep stacking. So he uses, I think in general, yeah, I think this is correct call to just be done with this. He attacks. He gets even a card. I use Great Orcs because maybe I'll take away his leadership token, and who knows what will happen in the future. But also he probably needs to heal, so every reroll might matter or might not. And this is like the snowball card for 3 people if they fight against small armies that they don't really need damage. Uh, they just reduce the damage. And if I was able, oh, okay, he killed me. I just wanted to say that if he doesn't kill me, I can like retreat here into the mountains. I can't retreat into the front gate because front gate is still controlled by him, so you can't retreat into fortification controlled by enemy. But yeah, okay, he just murdered me. I hoped to be a little bit of more a nuisance, and I rolled 2 damage, but not maneuver. So okay, this army actually expanded. Wait, why did he? Yeah, but only 1 damage. And now I use the fact that he delayed his turn by 1 action, and I move him back. So I delay him, but entire turn. Very irritating stuff. He is irritating. I'm also irritating. And then I have Master Die. I want this army to be stronger because I want to have 5 soldiers running around and killing elves. Killing elves can be really, really fun. And now he does what? Yeah, he flips tokens. Makes sense. He just flips tokens. What do I do? I attack. Makes sense. I have those eyes sitting here. Maybe what I should have done is use this hybrid die to move Bulk that 1 space closer, and then move those goblins here, and then use those eyes to start attacking. Because right now, yeah. On the other hand, you know what? If I will not attack, he can use some events or Will of the West to maybe consolidate these armies. Not sure. So obviously I want to use orcs to get my leadership tokens for future, and he tries to do something, but it is 5-on-1, not very hopeful. And I hope to keep my Fallen Breach and to get my extra die finally. But he uses on the march. He moves 2 armies. Oh, what a nasty little soldier. And yeah, and he locks me here. I don't know why this Wood Elf soldier. I know why this Wood Elf soldier. He ran away so that my goblins cannot move and then attack him. But maybe she should have went to Ravenhill, actually, What do? And I do move to strike. Yeah, finally. Okay, so that was my plan. Maybe that's why I didn't move the bulk earlier, because that would be like half a wasted move if I want to use move to strike. That is more efficient this way, maybe. And I use it right now because, again, I don't want him to move this soldier away. If he moves this soldier away, I'm not able to take Ruins of Dale, which is very funny how it works. So I rushed this maybe a little bit, and yeah, and I killed him. Lots of combats, what I was able to put like tempo and strategical pressure on him. So lots of combats are against single or really low people armies. That way, I was able to kill a lot, and he doesn't have that massive, which is sometimes seen, that massive running 3 people really strong armies. But you know what? I say that he still has like this army on in the eastern spore, still very powerful. Elven army, okay, it is damaged but strong. Ravenhill army, yeah, it is not 5 men strong, so yeah. Redoubled. Move up to. Oh no! Redoubled force. That is massive. Okay, so I hope this army is damaged. Oh, and he attacks me here. So I hope to have my dice, but it was all according to his plan. It looked like really weak and damaged army, but right now, yeah, he has. That's why even when he attacked, he moved in here. That is very cool. And he has Bilbo here, so this army is even more healthy than it looks. Yeah, he attacks me across the ford. I mean, with 4 leadership token and elves. But I have works, you know? If I will start trumping him. Huh. This is very tricky. Actually, like, works are really good matchup against elves. So it can go both ways. He tries to prevent damage on himself. He's running on 6s, so he doesn't count to get too much damage. Which is, yeah, probably smart maneuver. And I got no damage. Oh my, so he's attacking across the river and he got more damage at me than I got at him. So yeah, this is inconvenient. If I had more leadership, and this is very inconvenient because if I hit him with words, I may not even like force him to kill anything because he still has the Bilbo that protects him from the works. So really irritating. I use Battle Fury because I don't, I used orcs. Maybe I need to use battle. Yeah. I just want to just put some damage tokens on him. Determined attack. Oh, nice! And he uses determined attack to reduce damage taken by wood elves with wood elf spearmen again. Okay, so he really protects his army like a good free people commander. What is this damage? Oh my! Yeah. He rolled 1 die too many, but doesn't matter. Yeah, 4 damage and reduces 1 damage taken. And I just. Yeah, but I rolled 3 damage, so I dealt him 2 damage. And suddenly, yeah, and Bilbo gone. So it doesn't look good. He has 4 leadership, he has healthy elven army, and I'm. Oh man, okay. I hope to hold that, and he simply them. Oh, and rolled. Okay. Okay. I got my maneuver, which is very important. So I killed 2 elves. This normally, like, works are really cool in this way. Normally, this army probably would be totally and utterly destroyed until the end of times. And I will just put damage on him that he can heal one way or the other. But thanks to works, yeah, I mean, they just evaporated because that was 5 damage. But because of the works, he is forced to kill his soldiers. So all that combat was not in vain. But yeah, my strong 5 soldiers army across the river just demolished by those elves. Really, really massive stuff. And I move him, and again, I mean, Galahad will not miss that. That I can attack here, probably retake Fallen Bridge. He runs away. He takes concentration token. Oh, interesting. And he runs north. But it is smart. Again, north is completely empty. Again. So I can just move bulk and take it. To be honest, I can probably do that again. But at least when he will have Thorin and he will move this army into the front gate, at least he will able to defend and maybe actually win, with the front gate, attack uphill, Thorin leadership and combat die. Yeah, not sure, not sure. So yeah, I moved those goblins to force him to run away. I didn't really hope to take the fallen bridge, so I decided, you know what, I put the goblins. Sometimes when you have eyes, I have only one army of goblins, so I can move only one army. But if I recruit some goblins, maybe, they will start moving somewhere. Maybe they'll be useful. Or maybe I should have played for tempo and just move them immediately. I don't know. Okay. So I have no extra die again. Like, he is really, like, 3 people are on last legs here, but Galahad really squeezes the last rip out of those legs. That combat in the Fallen Bridge was very lucky. He just keeps bashing me for next to no damage, but still I think it shows some strength of shadow armies and their maneuvers, how flexible they are, and they can be really good even when losing. Okay, okay. And Gandalf powered up again, so it is dangerous. I got 2C. Yeah, I don't want to risk 3. I don't want to risk eagles. I still consider this possibility that he may have the event that recruits eagle, but you know, what can you do? And he got roaring voice, which is a little bit scary, you know. I don't know. It does seem that I have massive advantage. I do believe I should be able to win soon. But with some folks, maybe he has even that recruits 3 more elves here. Thorin joins with tokens. Maybe he will activate this army, which is actually difficult for him because I have this army sitting here and like checking. Uh, if he moves out, this one moves in, and I have 4 points for free, right? So yeah, I have multiple armies in multiple locations, and he is not able to protect everything. So he uses Gathering Marshal, and first thing he does, he flips Ravenhill. Interesting choice. I think, yeah, makes sense. He may be protecting against move to strike. Thorin, you know, if he uses Thorin first, then he gets recruitment token. But on the other hand, if he uses Thorin and gets the token but no soldiers, and I have moved to strike, 5 soldiers and goblins, for that matter, with extra bat token, they would probably mess up those 3 soldiers here. So yeah, I do believe that maybe he regrets moving this wood of spearmen here. If he was in the Ravenhill, that would be a different story. A little bit late, but you know, that one more soldier, yeah. And now I realized, you know what? I again have 2 master dice. I don't really have much to do with those master dice, but I have the bad. This is the card. This is the card. But then again, if he will be forced to move this army, I want to be this army with the range of the C die movement. And I just flip 4 tokens. I got plenty of soldiers here, really good. And I have 1 army, and in the future I may consolidate even 2nd army. So yeah, if he can't move from Eastern Spore without losing it, basically. He passes, which is very interesting. Why he doesn't recruit Thorin? I would just recruit Thorin and be doing that with it. And I decided, you know what? I don't have Palantir die, but I have a lot of armies to move. I move away my goblins because they don't have anything to attack. I move in bulk because if he will recruit Thorin, I can with bulk now move to camp to remove this token and bash bash those elves for some cool effect. And yeah, I moved this. What did I say? And I moved this. Again, I decided I want to have this army as support as far as possible because he cannot move this army anyway. So yeah, probably he needed to recruit Thorin instead of passing. That's what I think, but I'm not sure. Maybe he had a plan. We got a break. Galahad actually took few weeks because he really didn't want to go back to this game. Galahad hates losing, so you know how it goes. He tried to postpone as long as possible, but it clearly, I managed to have really big advantage. But you know, it's Galahad. He can come up with some weird stuff, so we need to watch out. uh, yeah. Yeah, so he probably was thinking, he was asking, can he use general after using a die? So he probably was thinking he will recruit Thorin and then flip Bard to flip the token in camp to block my bulk, but that's not the case. He has to Yeah, he has to use general first. Oh, he didn't place token in Eastern Sport. We missed that. I'm not sure if that matters, but you know, let's. You also rarely use it because quite often Eastern Sport is taken, and he shoots. Yeah, he hoped for some maybe lucky hit, 5 damage on bulk, but he got only one. There's even with concentration for 5 damage, there's not that big odds. And if he dealt me more damage, I would probably just fight with Goblin first and then use Master Die for a rally action. But yeah, he needed luck, some big swing, some big luck to come back here, and he didn't get it. So let's see what happens. I kill the recruitment token and I attack the weakened army, and I just want to bash it as strong as possible. He didn't use. Wait, he used wood of archers, not spearmen. I would. He really hopes again. Maybe. I mean, on average, I would use spearmen here, but on average, he loses when I think so. Maybe he had to hope. This is actually quite smart when you think about it. So he had to hope I will roll low damage, and he will roll a lot of damage, and that will stop my army, basically. Yeah, I think this is basically it. I rolled 3 damage, so with my leadership it is about average. With the bats, a lot of damage, and he got nothing. Yeah, that is yeah. So he needed luck, but he didn't. He actually got a little bit unlucky here, so this is looking worse and worse. Yeah, and I got 4 damage, so that when he uses Bilbo, he still has 2 damage left, so when he retreats, he loses soldier. If I dealt 3 damage after bats, he would have still, after Bilbo, he had 1 damage, so he would be able to run away to front gate with 1 damage. But he would have 3 soldiers, and with Thorin, that would be 5 dice, still 5 combat strength. And he uses archery attack on bulk, which is understandable, and he wants to weaken me. And then he uses last stand. Oh, that is cool. I correct him that he heals 4 fortifications. Last stand specifically says that you heal equal to the combat strength of an army inside, and Thorin adds 2 to combat strength of the army. So these 2 soldiers are actually have 4 combat strength because of Thorin. So suddenly, my game plan was, hey, maybe with that, especially with that bodyguard token, I can really probably bash this. I need to deal 4 damage, right? What was the issue? Even if he rolls a lot of dice, I have bodyguard token. I don't need to be afraid of my health. I just bash through him. I take front fallen breach, and that's game. But with that fortifications, and I don't have bats token, that's not really that maybe not easy. Some unlucky rolls, some maneuvers, maybe fog, and I'm stopped dead on the tracks. And eagles will start joining. You have no idea. You don't know what will happen. So I decided I will not go for the big swingy plays because I don't need to. I still have the advantage, so I can just increase my advantage even further. And I decide to simply take the fallen bridge and kill this long soldier. Actually, he gets the card, which, what can you do? But I, again, try to get leadership token and kill a guy. Oh, I didn't get leadership token. Yeah, well, okay. That happens. But I got my 2 damage and he didn't hit, so yeah. And he's dead. Not sure how big of a deal it is. Maybe it was. If he survived, he would be able to run away, and then we take Ruins of Dale, and then I would have issue with the number of dice, to win this turn. But if I don't win this turn, how do I lose next turn? He runs with Gandalf. What just happened? Um, this is interesting. Yeah, because what else could he do? To be honest, he does. He really maybe. Hmm. So he's not using this die for recruitment, which for me is indicator probably eagles. He wants to play an event that moves eagles one to the left and then recruits them. Because what else? Or another way, maybe he wants to see where do I use the C die to attack, then he uses fog, and then he uses this die for recruitment. Uh, Probably he moved Gandalf here to be able to shoot with him next turn if necessary. He has enough leadership here, right? I mean, Thorin alone is 4 leadership. And then Tandor is 2 leadership. And he has 7 leadership here, not 5. So, yeah. Yeah, and he is locked in his strongholds. He cannot move away. So I have 2 things to do. Attack front gate or activate the Southern Army, maybe to attack lower slopes, maybe to attack Ravenhill, and all of that. And I decided I can either play slow and, assume that I win on average long game, which most probably I do, but then, what, you know, maybe he gets Eagles, he activates Eagles next turn. It will be really hard to take Ravenhill, and actually really hard to take Spore. So which fortification do I take? Front gate? It can be a little bit scary. I mean, I have orcs from Gundabad for the recruitment. So in the end, I decided I have 2 attacks. I attack from the C die, and then after I take damage, I can place orcs from Gundabad for extra 2 orcs and attack again. And with so many soldiers, with Bastoken, with goblins that are really good at fighting strongholds, because yeah, okay, you take damage when you deal damage, but trading with fortification is really good for you in the long run. So I decided I try Ravenhill. And it is high heals, so goblins trigger for me to give a card. I got Fierce Defense, which in prolonged combat can be useful. And he uses Dense Fog, which is yeah, I had to plan around that anyway. And I play No Water because I accept that my army can take as much damage as possible right now to then place Orc from Gundabad and heal that army anyway, right? So I want to take damage, as much damage as possible now. I take 1 damage from myself and I roll 3 5s. Okay, very, very massive. That I broke fortification right now. That's that I dealt at least 3 damage. So next turn combats will be hitting uh, on 6s. I mean on 5s, not on 6s. So actually got really timely maneuver. And heroes, ooh, yeah, heroes well himself. But that's the downside of Fog. If he played maneuver of Spearman, the fortification would hold for 1 more turn. But how could he know that, right? So yeah, uh, I'm interested. Yeah, we are in a little bit of discrepancy in hits. I have +3 hits, he has -3 hits, which is probably noticeable. 6 damage overall is quite a lot, but this is not amongst the craziest swings that you see in this game. But yeah, and he gets the birds. He has to hope. So I think this was very interesting turn, the last turn, when Galahad went for swingy and risky plays, which actually was correct because he needed some swingy situation, either maybe with Gandalf shot, but I still have that bodyguard token, so but but he has to do here in the combat to don't defend desperately Ravenhill, accept that he takes risks that it will hold, but get that Eagles 1 area. So if he gets the luck to survive, then he may have some more luck next turn, or maybe not luck, just more tools to survive next turn, and that starts, working. If he would just accept on average efficient but slow death, I think this is very interesting move, and it really shows uh, cool cool strategies uh, by Galahad. Like he can adapt. How we were in a previous game when he had advantage, we could really see how he presses that advantage and how he uh, plays average game and avoids risks because he had luxury to do that. He had ability to do that. And right now, he dived deep, head front into the risks because what else can he do, right? But that's why you can sometimes win games that you see that you're losing. Uh, if he gets some number of lucky rolls and I got unlucky rolls, maybe he had a way out of the game, which is really cool. So we're rolling. I got what? I got 3 damage. He got 1 damage. So it is 2-1 because he scored maneuver. But he has only 4 soldiers, so he's rolling less dice. He has less hit points to lose. So this is really a losing fight. He would really need something crazy to happen. But long story short, it didn't happen. Yeah. And still very interesting game. I like this game because it showed a lot of stuff. I'm surprised myself how it played out because usually when I play Shadow, I try to engage bulk as much as possible and then have some back armies that when the front army with bulk will get battered and demolished, bulk just switches army to the new fresh one. As you were actually able to see in multiple cases when I played Shadow, like a standard approach, because bulk, that free leadership, and that uh, uh, extra bodyguard token that can swing a deciding battle. But this game actually, my forward armies, like bulk was sitting back most of the time. Like he almost did next to nothing apart from bashing, apart from threatening. He was just sitting and knurring menacingly. But the ability to move around with multiple armies that were flexible enough, to adapt to the roles. My first North Army with the Great Orcs with the card blocking maneuvers and really good at taking front gate. Second Army really good at fighting elves and ravaging them on the south. Then the goblins really good at taking Ravenhill. So I was able to, thanks to some cards and dice, I was able to get suitable armies for the roles that they were to play out. And in the end, I didn't even need bulk that much, to be honest, which is very crazy to me because in many cases I assume that bulk is the way to win. And it is also cool to see how many tricks and maneuvers 3 people were able to do here with retaking front gate, defending it multiple times. And that one army that was really cool, the Elven army, was just ping-ponging north and south, defending both front at the same time. Or the Dane army that was able, to threaten the middle, then defend the north and all of that. So, yeah, lots of cool stuff. And finally, I won against Galahad with a little bit of a luck. to be honest. But on the other hand, there are lucks on different parts. I got a little bit lucky on some cards and rolls. He got lucky in a little bit of different combats, and he got both fogs. He got those move to strikes when necessary. So it is. It is sometimes not that easy to judge, but really cool game. A very strategical end position, and like to squeeze your tools, your resources, your soldiers to the last bit. Uh, I really like this game. I really like playing with Galahad, and I also hope that you like this game, and I hope you have a good day.